you know what? I wanted to ask about if you caught the interview with Lelee
Oh yeah.
from SWV,
Hmm.
and I personally was very surprised when I listened to her interview, talking about when they got dropped and Coco had a solo album, and she didn't mention Coco, and I'm just bringing that up. But then she just lost everything and went into this depression and got a regular job, and I'm like, wow,
Hmm.
especially a group as big as SWV, and how many of our favorite artists had something similar happen to them, not to the extent where they wanted to end their life, but that sense of, okay, well, I need to go get a 9 to 5, and because as big as we were, there are no
Right.
tours and we're not making money. And I don't know what, you know, being in the industry yourself and stuff. What are your thoughts listening or hearing her that interview and this, and how
Um,
she moved?
what I appreciated from her interview is that she was an advocate for um, not only artists but just regular everyday people, and specifically her community, Black community people, seeking mental health help.
Yeah.
Help with mental health.
Mm.
Um, I understand with her story. I'm like I said, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there were other things going on because usually when you're thinking about committing suicide, I don't think it's just one thing. That there's other factors and things that are playing into that. So I don't want
Yeah.
to cheapen it and make it seem like it's one thing that caused the other thing.
Yeah.
But it's showing that there's a lack of attention on mental health, but also it also hopefully gives a view into that world, the music industry, and fame and popularity, and
Yeah.
um, that industry and how that affects the normal average person. We never consider that. We never think about how fame affects people,
Mm.
and when you get it real fast, and then when it's taken away abruptly. And she was so used to being Lelee that she forgot her own original name. She stopped using her real name and everything, and she had to remember my name is Leandra, right? Is it Leanne?
Leanne. Yeah.
Leanne?
Leanne. Yeah.
Yeah, Leanne. So yeah, I mean, it was a sad interview, but it was definitely good for her to be transparent and share her experience. But again, there is no help for people with or not mental illness, but like mental issues in the industry. The labels don't do anything for them health wise. They don't set up
Yeah.
any kind of like medical benefits or anything like that. It's just all on you, and that's why you got to spend your money wisely. And there's not a lot of people to talk to in the industry because everybody's trying to get something or trying to find a
Yeah.
way to get over, get ahead themselves.
Yeah.
So, it's not really a lot of people you can trust in that industry. That's why it's always good to have a good foundation, a good family, which she sounded like she had a good family. So, I mean, in general,
Yeah.
I enjoyed her interview. I loved her personality, and I'm glad she brought attention to something that a lot of art, even you talked to the guy from the group Profile.
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say that. I mean, he was the first one that I heard talk
open
about
up.
it,
Hmm.
and it's it still touches me how he said he was about to take his life, and no one cared because look, man, you're our lead singer. We need you out there. No one understood
Right.
what he was going through. I mean, LJ now is the lead singer of a cover band, and he says he's at
I've
his
seen some
happiest.
clips.
Yeah, he's at
Hmm.
his happiest now because that pressure, all that stuff is away from him. He's
Right.
singing, he's having fun, making a little money, and that's better for him compared
Yeah.
to being in the industry. And it's like, wow, and
Yeah.
I
That
think, mm, go ahead.
I was gonna say that people don't understand also that pressure and how to and how that affects you. And I we have to also do something as individuals. You know, when you are not equipped for something, for example, I have known some people in my life that have expressed to me that they felt those kind of thoughts, those dark thoughts of maybe taking their
Yeah,
life. I personally, I can't relate to it. I've never thought like that. I've dealt with some very heavy, hard things.
yeah,
Sometimes you'll say something and you intend it to be helpful and say, well, why don't you just get over it? That's not helping someone. I think what the best thing to do is to try to find help for them. steer them in the direction, because sometimes we can hurt people more than we think, telling them, oh, it's not that serious, or it'll change, or it'll get better.
Yeah.
That doesn't always help people, if that makes sense. I mean, you're a therapist, you know
Yeah.
better, you probably
Yeah.
dealt with people, but I think a
Yeah.
lot of times when people approach certain people for help, sometimes that is also what um it doesn't necessarily help those people. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes they don't get the answers they're seeking for. And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kima from Total, she mentioned that she got therapy when, the whole band thing went bust, and
Mhm.
she learned the difference between getting a professional therapist and talking to a friend, because a friend was very much on a level where it wasn't really helping. Um, what tends to happen with people who have suicidal thoughts and ideations is that the negative thoughts that come in that say you're a failure, you're not good, you're not worth it, you're disappointing everyone. And
Right.
those thoughts become very believable because they're very strong. And it then affects how you feel and affects what you end up doing. And then when that becomes very intense, and maybe things aren't working out, it would then say, look at that. The thoughts are almost like like a little devil on your side, just speaking into your ear, and they become very true, and you actually start to believe that. And that's what tends to happen. And it just
Right.
says, look, you've disappointed everyone around you. So you've just been a waste of space. Look at it, everyone will be better off without you. And then you start to think. So when people want to end their lives, you can't say, "Oh, what about your family? What about your friends?" No, in your mind is, "I'm actually doing them a favor by checking out of here, because I've
That's
embarrassed
terrible.
everybody." So that's
Mm.
that becomes the case. But it is a sad thing that the industry in itself is just looking for its commodity, and that's the music that you can provide.
Right.
Within the Black community, there is a sort of a stigma around mental health that also then becomes a barrier. But as I said, I'm glad that Lely's conversation and frankness has sort of helped
Right.
indirectly to give people a sense to look. And I think more so the fact that she lost everything, and started from scratch. And she
Right.
was so proud of making $11 an hour doing overtime, knowing that she could buy what she could end up buying.
Right.
And you look at where she's at now. And that was an inspirational part about, if if you guys need any, just if just search on the website for support around
Hmm.
mental health in your local area, and there should be a lot of help available. But yeah, thanks.
All right. Give us your thoughts. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. And thanks. Like, share, and subscribe.